Good day. Philosophy, love of wisdom in ancient Greek, is the systematic study of general and fundamental questions concerning topics like existence, reason, knowledge, value, mind, and language. It is a rational critical inquiry that reflects on its own methods and assumptions. Historically, many of the individual sciences, such as physics and psychology, form part of philosophy. But they are considered separate academic disciplines in the modern sense of the term. The main traditions in the history of philosophy include Western, Arabic Persian, Indian, and Chinese philosophy. Western philosophy originated in ancient Greece and covers a wide area of philosophical subfields. A central topic of an Arabic Persian philosophy is the relationship between reason and revelation. Indian philosophy combines the spiritual problem, how to reach enlightenment, with the exploration of the nature of the reality and the ways of arriving the knowledge. Chinese philosophy focuses on practical issues in relation to right social conduct, government, and others. There are major branches of philosophy, and the major branches of philosophy are epistemology, ethics, logic, and metaphysics, and that would be discussed in the following.
Different branches of philosophy: ethics, aesthetics, and epistemology. Ethics, also called moral philosophy, the discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad, and morally right and wrong. The term is also applied to any system or theory of moral values or principles. Ethics refers to the concept of right and wrong conduct. Furthermore, ethics is basically a branch of philosophy dealing with the issue of morality. Moreover, ethics consists of the rules of behavior. It certainly defines how a person should behave in specific situations. Aesthetics, the philosophical study of beauty and taste. It is closely related to the philosophy of art, which is concerned with the nature of art and the concept and term of which individual works of art are interpreted and evaluated. It is essentially a deep appreciation of beauty. To live in an aesthetic life is to go about life often focused on beauty. It is creating it in our surroundings and noticing it in our everyday life. Epistemology is the study of knowledge, acquisition. It involves an awareness of certain aspects of reality, and it seeks to discover what is known and how it is known. Considered as a branch of philosophy, epistemology addresses cognitive sciences, cultural studies, and history of science. It is concerned with the mind's relation to reality.
Branches of philosophy. So we have one is metaphysics, two is logic, and three is political philosophy. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that studies the fundamental nature of reality. This includes the first principles of being or existence, identity, change, space and time, cause and effect, necessity, actuality, and possibility. Logic. Logic is the area of philosophy that studies the scope and nature of logic. It investigates the philosophical problems raised by logic, such as the presuppositions often implicitly at work in theories of logic and their application. Political philosophy or political theory is the philosophical study of government, addressing questions about the nature, scope, and legitimacy of public agents and institutions and the relationships between them.
Ancient philosophy is an important branch of philosophy that has influenced modern thinking. It dates back thousands of years to the time of ancient Greece and Rome. Ancient philosophers sought to understand the world around them and develop fundamental principles of knowledge and thought. Subjects such as ethics, logic, ontology, metaphysics, epistemology, aesthetics, and cosmology were first explored by these great thinkers. These ideas are still studied by philosophers today. Ancient philosophy also investigated questions about the nature of the human condition, such as what it means to be moral, how to live a good life, and how to interact with others. By studying the work of these great minds, we can also gain insight into our current philosophical debates as well as our own lives. Understanding ancient philosophy can help us to better understand ourselves and the world around us. The study of ancient philosophy gives us a greater appreciation of the past and helps us to see the cultural and philosophical influences that have shaped our present. In understanding the views of our predecessors, we can also deepen our understanding of our own worldviews.
The three greatest thinkers in ancient Greek philosophy, namely Socrates, the teacher of Plato, Plato, the teacher of Aristotle. Socrates, born from 470 to 399 BC, was a Greek philosopher from Athens who is credited as the founder of Western philosophy, and among the first moral philosophers of the ethical tradition of thought. An enigmatic figure, Socrates authored no texts and is known mainly through the posthumous accounts of his classical writers, particularly his students Plato and Xenophon. Socrates is considered by many to be the founding father of Western philosophy, as well as one of the most enigmatic figures of ancient history. Though Socrates characteristically professed his own ignorance regarding many of the mainly ethical subjects he investigated. For example, the nature of piety. He did hold certain convictions with confidence, including that human wisdom begins with the recognition of one's own ignorance, and the unexamined life is not worth living. Plato was the ancient Greek philosopher born in Athens during the classical period in Athens. Plato founded the Academy, a philosophical school where he taught the philosophical doctrines that would later become known as Platonism. Plato was an innovator of his written dialogue and dialectic forms in philosophy. He raised problems for what became all the major areas of both theoretical philosophy and practical philosophy. His most famous contribution is the theory of forms, or ideas, which has been interpreted as advancing a solution to what is not known as the problem of universals. Plato's famous work is The Republic, which details a wise society run by a philosopher. He is also famous for his dialogues. And Aristotle, born from 384 to 322 BC, was an ancient Greek philosopher and polymath. His writings cover a broad range of subjects spanning the natural sciences, philosophy, linguistics, economics, politics, psychology, and the arts. As the founder of the Peripatetic School of Philosophy in the Lyceum in Athens, he began the wider Aristotelian tradition that followed, which set the groundwork for the development of modern science. Though Aristotle wrote many elegant treatises and dialogues for publication, only around a third of his original output has survived, none of it intended for the synthesis of the various philosophies existing prior to him. His teachings and methods of inquiry have a significant global impact, and as a result, his philosophy has exerted an influence across the world, and it continues to be a subject of contemporary philosophical discussion. Aristotle's views profoundly shaped medieval scholarship. The influence of his philosophical science extended from late antiquity and early Middle Ages into the Renaissance and was not replaced systematically until the Enlightenment, and theories such as classical mechanics were developed. And most of this data information we have is based on our research.